What's up, internet? I'm Aries Van Dam. How y'all doing today? Uh, just hanging out watching Vic, the cool Vic stream. So I was waiting. That's why I've been a little late. Um, but I do have a video picked out that I wanted to watch with y'all tonight. This one is a really good representation of how women just can't handle any kind of pushback. I remember watching this one live. I haven't really refreshed myself. You have to forgive me too. I didn't know this shirt was going to catch my green screen. So forgive me. I'm a newbie. So, um, but before I get into that, I did want to talk to y'all a little bit. Um, some of my friends have been having some issues. They think I'm like liberal or something. No, I'm not liberal at all. I am more based than the president. I can promise you. Um, my issues with the Republican Party are more with the president than the party. I just feel like a lot of people excuse away a lot of things because they like him. And I mean, I liked him too. I voted for him. I'm not a crazy liberal. So trust me, I voted for him because he was a better option than what we had on the other side. But that doesn't make what he does now good. And if you go down the list of things that he is, I think a lot of things on there you won't like. And then you'll just excuse him away because you like Trump. For example, do you like feminism? I don't. So Trump is a feminist, obviously. Look at his cabinet. Look at how he does things. He is a feminist. There's no way to explain around that. He'd probably tell you he was if you asked him. Do you like Zionists? I don't. So he's obviously a Zionist, and there's no debating that. Like, we could have that debate, but it's pretty obvious that he's a Zionist. Do you like globalists? No, he's kind of a globalist too. I mean, America is negotiating ceasefires and wars that have nothing to do with us. We're the world police. Like, this is obvious stuff. So a lot of things Trump does, I just kind of disagree with. And I like that he did the peace thing. That's good, but I mean, I wouldn't have let him. Not as one-sided as he is for Israel, which I'm not getting into that. I didn't even look into that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about things that I dislike about Trump that I think could be better. And I think the Zionist thing is the biggest one for me, and the feminist thing. But anyway, so I just want to clear that up because a lot of people somebody said I was a liberal the other day. Like, I don't even think women should vote. How am I a liberal? But yeah, I'm definitely not liberal. But I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people seem to misunderstand some of the things I'm saying. I'm not liberal. So anyway, let's dive into this whatever podcast. This one, Andrew makes this girl cry and run off the screen. Well, I mean, she's a fat girl, so she waddled off the screen, but she exited rapidly. Let's say it that way. But this is just going to show you. You'll see. So let's dive into it. Okay, there we go. That was weird. All right.
Okay, we're going to get into your notes, Morgan. So you do describe yourself as a feminist, you said in your notes. And your notes here, are these things you wanted to bring up?
I mean, they're just notes I took.
Or just
it's
like
stuff
notes
that
for
I've
yourself?
notes for myself.
Okay. Because
I think she said she was a 9 or 10 when they did that section too. Just so you know who you're talking to. That's all. You have eyes. Look at her. Said she's a 9 or a 10, I think. I have to go back and watch it. Maybe an 8. Either way, anything positive of 5 is very optimistic on her part. So
you provided some, but if there are any others that we don't have that you wanted to bring up, we'd be happy to go into it. You said, please put me on the podcast. I'm watching the live stream right now and I want to pull my hair out. Was that the Charlie Kirk episode?
Yeah.
Okay. You said you're a
Leave Chuck alone.
Yeah.
He didn't
And you said that you're a flight attendant, big old feminist.
Yeah.
And you said, I promise I'll come in guns blazing.
Yeah.
Well, you can't rage quit if you're going to come in guns blazing. Guns blazing, you got to stay till the very
Do
end.
I have to?
Pretty much. Anyways, you said women shouldn't be.
She's not making it much longer.
drafted because the Equal Rights Amendment still hasn't been passed.
Exactly.
And women aren't constitutionally, equal to men.
Yes. This is the stuff I wanted to talk
Sure.
about.
So
Can't back any of that up. None of it. Watch.
why don't we dive into that? So your position is women shouldn't be drafted. You're a feminist, though. I assume you believe in equality.
Yes.
So how do you reconcile being a feminist and believing in equality, but being in favor of inequality when it comes to selective service?
Because the Equal Rights Amendment has not yet passed, so women are still not constitutionally equal to men.
So I don't support women being drafted because the legislation to get them to be drafted didn't pass.
So for that to pass, if that passes, draft me, daddy. I'm ready to go.
So when you say women aren't constitutionally equal to men, and you mentioned the Equal Rights Amendment, what do you mean?
The Equal Rights Amendment.
Well, assume there's a panel here who has no idea what that is. Assume there's
Like you, she has no idea what it means either. She just heard the name and figured, hey, we should be passing that because it says equal rights. But I promise you, she's not saying the same thing about the big, beautiful bill now. So why do you believe some names and not others?
viewers here who have no idea what that is.
The Equal Rights Amendment is actually.
Oh, let's have her answer.
Wow, I didn't think you wouldn't know what the Equal Rights Amendment is.
Well, did I say I
It's just
don't?
that no, it's just that you it would be an amendment to the Constitution that you can't discriminate on the basis of sex.
You mean the 19th Amendment?
Yeah. No.
No?
It would be the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment. You can't discriminate on the
What
basis
is the
of
19th
sex.
Amendment?
I don't know what the 19th Amendment.
Obviously, that's the one that says you can't discriminate based on sex. But it also says some other things that lets women vote for some reason and not go to the draft.
is. Do you want to tell me?
Okay, can you pull up the 19th Amendment so we can read it?
But so this amendment, it's not clear to me how, because you said, so currently women aren't constitutionally equal to men. So I suppose where in the Constitution would it indicate or show that they're not equal to men?
You have the 19th Amendment? Yep. Okay, pull it up.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Don't buy this shit.
Right of the citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Meaning, you're equal to men when it comes to voting. And if you're equal to men when it comes to voting, then that means that you can elect whatever politician you want to enforce your will just like we can. Totally equal. So
Then why didn't the Equal Rights Amendment pass?
Because it's not
Why-
about equal rights, it's about redefining.
She can't get past the name. That's how dumb women and parts of our population are. Men too. I've seen men that say this, think the same way. They hear a nickname for a bill or the nickname for a law and they just think, oh, well, that's all it is. And they don't realize all the pork that they shove into these bills to get them through. It's literally, most of the bill is not even about the thing that it's supposed to be about. She doesn't have any idea. She doesn't read them. She doesn't know. She just formulated an opinion based off of the nickname people call it.
The word woman. It redefines the word woman from biological woman with XX chromosomes to anybody who wants to identify as a woman.
Right.
It is a change in the very definition of what.
So women aren't equal because of that silliness there. That's why she thinks women aren't equal under the law. Women have more rights than men. And that's what they're going to get to. I think that's what gets her off of here. But women have more rights than men. Like if I have consensual sex with a female and I don't want a baby that's going to result from it, I'm screwed. Unless she decides she wants to take care of it on her own, I would be screwed. But if she decides she doesn't want a baby, she just goes and takes care of it. How is that fair? Like you would tell, like if your child got in that situation, what you would tell them is dependent on what they are. Because if they're a woman, a female, you would tell her, we might need to go get this taken care of. And if it's a male, you would tell him what? Time to get a job, start your life, start your career, go be inconvenienced for the next 18 years. You have no pity for the man. You tell him, be a man. But you tell the woman, oh, let's go take care of this so you don't have any consequences for your things that you do. just the men. That's the only ones. And they never address that. They never even suggest, hey, how about we let men abandon their responsibilities too? If a woman has the right to kill it, why can a man not abandon his responsibility to pay for it? And then when you say that, I've had a debate with, with my therapist actually, because she said, well, that's a baby. It's not what's best for the baby. I'm like, I thought it was a clump of cells. When you wanted to murder it in a couple of seconds ago, it was a clump of cells. So why is it a baby that I have to take care of for 18 years? Because when I'm deciding it is still just a clump of cells, right? So if you can kill it, why can I not abandon my responsibility to it? That's the whole point that women don't understand, especially this monster.
We just have all agreed as a woman.
So this said, there can be
We're
no
missing the
discrimination
watermark.
based upon sex. There's
How long
only
has that
two.
been gone?
Even if you think a person can, whatever they identify as, they are that thing. Even the advocates for transgenderism would not say that they're the sex of. They would not say that they're the sex of. So a transgender female is not going to say that they have female genitalia. So the descriptor here for sex would work across the board for everybody.
Transgender female wouldn't say that she has female genitalia.
They would not say that they are females biologically.
She,
They would not say that they're biological. That's correct. They would say
I
there's only
don't-
two sexes.
She doesn't even know what they say. No, they don't think they're biologically female because they've changed their mind. They think that she doesn't even know what they think. This is insane. No one has ever tried to say that they changed their sex. It is their gender they're changing. And she is supposed to be educated enough to get onto a talk show that goes out to the entire country, and she didn't know that.
There's only two. There could only ever be two.
Yet she's an activist for them. She wants to pronounce herself as some kind of an activist that supports them. She doesn't even know what they think. So why are you supporting people you don't even know what they think? You probably wouldn't agree with it.
One sex produces ova with large gametes. The other one produces sperm, which is small gametes.
okay.
Yeah, so there's only two. Because there's only two reproductive pathways. Even the major transgender advocates do not say that there's more than two sexes. They say that there's hundreds of genders,
Okay.
but there's still only two sexes. So that amendment, the 19th Amendment, says based on sex, which would cover every human being who currently exists in the United States, not a one that would not cover, cannot be discriminated against based on sex when it comes to voting.
Did you
Not one.
read the Equal Rights Amendment?
Yeah.
Okay, so then how was this confusing?
What do you mean?
Like if you read the bill, then you would realize
Yeah.
that like the point of the ERA is not to amend the 19th Amendment, but to pass legislation to change the definition of woman. So if you read it like,
Yeah, I'm for that.
okay, but that doesn't. But why is women getting drafted contingent on whether you change the definition of
I
women?
just,
Incapable of admitting she doesn't know what she's talking about. And that's why she's going to go through all this in a minute. If she just said right there, you know what, I wasn't really educated on this. I probably should have done more learning. They'd have probably just gone on to the next person and she'd have been fine for the rest of the show. But instead, she has to keep doubling down and acting like she knows something she doesn't. And that's a purely, I don't want to say it's purely feminine, but a lot of females have this issue. They will argue with you about something they clearly don't know anything about. And still get mad when you win.
it's like, I don't understand why why would that be a difficult thing to pass? Like if the ERA is not a
Well,
thing.
that's two separate issues.
Is it?
Is it? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. One is talking about people being equal and the other is talking about women being men without penis. It makes no sense, lady. Yeah, they're two completely different things. And only a dummy would not see that.
Yeah.
But wasn't that a big topic that like Phyllis Schlafly was all about? Like if the ERA passes, women are going to be drafted.
Yeah, it would open the door to them being drafted, I suppose.
So the thing is the epitome of the straw man now, right? To create the arguments against people who never made them. So I most certainly never made such an argument. Brian most certainly never made such an argument. The argument that we're making is very specific.
Okay.
The argument is that if men can be drafted,
Sure.
right, and they can be, and they're forced to sign up for selective service, and they are, or else there's huge penalties against them.
Yeah.
If you truly believed in egalitarianism, Why is it that you would not demand the same thing from women?
Because I don't think it's enough. I think that there needs
I don't think it's enough. So she thinks they need more privileges that men don't have. It's not enough. I mean, that's the only way I know to interpret this, dummy. I don't speak stupid, so I don't know. But is that what she's trying to say?
to be more. I think that if it truly was equal, then the ERA should have passed no problem. And I think that
What would that have to do with women signing up, though, for the biological sex of female who's allowed to vote? Why is it that the biological sex of female?
I think we're getting into a different topic.
I don't think we are.
Jai Vanik donated $200.
No, I just,
And even under her goofy
there's
concept
a
of gender,
trans
20
Refuses to admit she's in over her head. Like, I have no problem admitting that. I say it all the time. Like, nope, this is too boring for me to talk about, and I just dug out. She can't do that. She can't. She's too pot committed.
20 SCOTUS opinion Bostock v. Clayton already prohibits discrimination on the basis of orientation and gender
That's true.
identity. Quit playing wannabe lawyer.
But we don't even have to get that far. So pull up the 19th again. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States by any state on account of sex. If that is true, then no human being inside the United States is going to not be able to vote, period, based on a sexual characteristic, period.
Okay.
So in your
But the equal rights is okay.
Hold on. So we can get into the Equal Rights Amendment component of this, but you said that women shouldn't be drafted because the Equal Rights Amendment still hasn't been passed, and women aren't constitutionally equal to men. That's the second claim. There is the claim
Right.
that I want to investigate. You said women aren't constitutionally equal to men. Can you articulate how?
Well, like I found in my notes, the ERA's equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the U.S. or by any state on the basis of sex.
I'm actually willing to go with this.
Yeah.
I'm actually willing to engage with this. So you agree that this has to do with redefining what a woman is, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you think currently that transgender men have to sign up for selective service?
So are they assigned male or female at birth?
They're assigned female at birth.
And they transition to male
Yeah, even
Sure.
before they reach 18.
before they reached 18?
Mm-hmm.
If they're fully transitioned, then yeah, I would think so.
They don't.
Okay.
They do not have
Then
to
that should
sign up for
change.
the selective service.
Then that should change.
Okay, so what you have just demonstrated is that even if we're talking about the trans agenda, that trans men are also still not
Trans
equal with trans
men
women.
are
They're
men.
still not equal with trans women.
Because they're men.
She's still not able to get past it. She's still going back to that gender versus sex thing. She can't get past it. She just keeps wanting to say transgender women are women. And she's not right even for the gender portion. She's definitely wrong for the sex portion.
And trans men are
Wait,
men.
hang on. If that's true, right, then how come they don't have to sign up for selective
They
service?
should have to because they're men.
Okay, they should have to.
Because they're men. Yes.
So then, shouldn't trans women?
Trans women should what?
Shouldn't trans women, right? Shouldn't they be exempt under this?
Trans women shouldn't have to sign up
Yeah.
for yes.
Even though they're biologically males?
No, trans women are women.
She still can't get it.
Biologically male.
Trans women are women.
Yeah, but
Still can't understand it. Even transgender people don't think their sex changes. And this dumb monster can't figure it out. Even after they just explained it to her for like 5 minutes. And she's like, okay, I got it. And then right back to it. Because she has no arguments here and she's just desperate for something. Just desperate. She's clinging on to a little branch she sees. She's looking for anything to get out of this because she knows she's sunk. She's probably already started thinking about her exit. Like that's what the shaking and the nervousness in her hands. That's what all that is. She's already starting to think about her exit. So sit tight.
biologically they're
Trans
males.
women are women.
Yeah, but you're
They're
not saying
women.
anything.
You're not saying anything.
No, I
either.
am. I'm saying
They're
something very specific.
biologically whatever, they're women.
Okay, got it. So what you're saying here is that you think that trans men who are born female should have to sign up for the draft, but that The ones who are assigned man at birth, assigned male at birth, they should be exempt from the draft.
If they are transitioned to women, identify as women, yes.
Why do they have to transition?
Who determines if they're transitioned? Do I get to? Do I get to look at them and see if they look like a lady or a man? Do I get to do that? Who determines if they've transitioned? Oh, they just say so. I say I transitioned. That's not a that wouldn't make any sense even if we were going to go with your stupid plan. Like that makes no sense. Okay, I promise you, as soon as war breaks out, every man is a transgender woman now. Everyone, because that's all it takes. Hey, I'm a lady too now. I'm getting out of this draft. That's how easy it would be. So why would you even have a draft? Oh, you got to have a draft. You don't have a choice. I don't like it any more than you do, but people will. There are going to be wars, so you got to have it.
Why couldn't they just identify?
Then they're women. They're whatever point they are. If they're a woman, then they're a woman.
Then it's equal.
Great.
Then it's equal between all of it, right? Because in this case, then biological men, if they say they're women, they don't have to get drafted.
Sure, throw that equal rights amendment up there, and we're all equal, and draft us all.
So
She still thinks this equal rights amendment makes women more powerful some way. Actually makes them less powerful because now all the transgenders can just become a woman and go into your restrooms and beat you at sports. So I don't know how that makes you stronger.
I just want to make sure I get this right. Right now, you agree that nobody can be drafted. No, I mean, nobody can be barred from voting on the basis of sex.
Right.
Do you think there's a third sex?
No, I think that there are women and men.
Yeah, do you
trans
think
women
there's
and
a
men, but
third
there are also-
sex? How many sexes do you think there are?
I don't think that matters.
I think it matters.
I don't think that matters. Like every time I go to the bathroom and I look and there are two bathrooms, there's a man and a woman usually, unless it's a unisex bathroom, but that should have been her big hint. This bitch is probably 40 or 50. I don't know how old she is. She looks rough, but 50, I'd say. And she still doesn't know this? Or is this some kind of mental illness? Like literally mental illness here. But you're on a debate podcast. Like, you came here to argue points. So why would you show up and not have any ideas?
How many sexes do you think
I
there are?
think that this is like do you know any transgender people?
Yeah. How many sexes do you
do?
think there are? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that
Yeah, I
this
can
is
name-
harmful to their...
Whether it's, okay, let's assume for a second that I don't think that transgender people don't understand that you can have a conversation about biological sex without going and unaliving themselves. I don't think.
No, it's not about
they're
that.
going to do
It's
that.
that you set like a precedent
Of?
where, well, you set a precedent of like, violence where my friends don't feel safe going to like their places of work or...
Yeah, but what would that have to do with whether they're
How is that
equal or
violence?
not?
Well, when you're saying, like, when you have these arguments that, like, don't, like, trans women are women, trans men are men.
Fine.
And when you break that down.
Even if I say
to-
that,
Yeah.
nobody's going to dispute that there's only two sexes. If there's only two sexes,
Okay.
the 19th Amendment says that nobody can be denied the right to vote
Great,
via
okay.
sex.
Sure.
So all those trans people can vote.
Right, okay.
So then what's the inequality issue here?
That's what I said, so draft them all.
So then you think everybody should get drafted?
Throw the Equal Rights Amendment up there.
No,
Because if
why do
everybody's
we
equal,
need the
then there
Equal
should
Rights
be no problem. If we,
This bitch really loves that name, man. She just loves that it says equal rights and thinks that has to pass because it says that. And she doesn't know anything about what's in it. That's just it. And they've already showed her she doesn't know. They've asked her and she said she didn't read it. Like, why would you still keep thinking you're right when a much smarter person is explaining to you how dumb you sound? And you just can't let it go. You just have to keep arguing until you have to freak out and run out of here. Because
you know what, if there's no problem and if we don't, like, we should have it then. Why is it
Wait,
such a big deal?
I think this word will sum this up
Okay.
perfectly. Redundancy. So, women already have, at least it's my position, are constitutionally equal to men. So even if
I don't think so.
Okay, but
What,
so you're
what are you
hold on.
asking?
please tell us how they're not. Please tell us how you're deprived of rights now. Please. I'm dying to hear this.
What do we not get? What do we not
But-
get that you think we should get?
Bodily autonomy.
Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But okay, so it's my view though that you're saying, well, we don't have this bill that is named and called entitled the Equal Rights Amendment, ergo we don't have equal rights because a bill that is titled the Equal Rights Amendment was not passed. But this bill, and I'm not super familiar with it. I'm not entirely sure if it is a redundancy, but the current state of affairs, the 19th Amendment, constitutionally, women are equal, but you made the claim women aren't constitutionally equal, so the burden is on you to articulate how women aren't constitutionally equal to men, and you cannot point to a bill just by virtue of the title of the bill, it not passing, being evidence that women aren't constitutionally equal to men.
How is something called the Equal Rights Amendment not passing?
You can, okay, the
I feel
title
like
of
2
a
plus
bill,
2 equals.
hold on.
I feel like they've explained this about 4 times already through the course of this show. I don't know if they've got them all in this clip, but they've explained this to her repeatedly. And she still just can't get past the name. That's how powerful propaganda is. That's why they name these stupid bills this shit. Because they know that these dumbasses that just watch CNN or Fox News and believe everything they see, they just it's a name. It's in the name. If we don't do it, we're bad. That's retarded. That is retarded. Like, I don't even understand how. I can call my bill anything I want. Like, what? Just the name does not mean anything. It only matters what's in that bill. The words, not the title, the words.
Yeah.
The title of the bill is irrelevant.
Do you
It might
think that North Korea is really a republic? Because it's called the Republic of North Korea.
Okay.
It's a communist dictatorship, but it is called the Republic of North Korea.
Okay.
So that must be a republic then.
The Inflation Reduction Act only boosted inflation. so-
Okay.
But okay, so
Okay, I don't know what that means. She doesn't even know what these words are. This is like trying to debate a dog or a really dumb cat. Like, you're just saying things to it, and it's responding, like it's moving its head and stuff, but it's not getting anything. She's not getting it.
the contents of a bill might oftentimes have nothing to do with the actual title.
Okay.
So
Again,
you did make the claim, and women, that's separate from the Equal Rights Amendment, aren't constitutionally equal to men. So you're going to have to articulate how women aren't constitutionally equal to men.
I think that if they were, then the Equal Rights Amendment should have passed. No problem. That's all.
because anything with that name has to pass.
All I have to say about the Equal Rights Amendment.
But
Oh, she's down limiting them. That's all I have to say about this. That's how you know you lost. When you start saying, that's all I have to say about this. Pierce, that's all I have to say about this. That's how you know.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
That's
I
it.
can't articulate more than that. That's my point.
But, I mean,
and
that-
then I also think that women would be able to have more bodily autonomy.
okay, so we can get into that.
Okay.
Would you vote so that men couldn't vote on women's bodily autonomy?
Men couldn't vote. Like I don't understand in the context.
do you
yeah, I
think
feel like it would be yes.
You would vote so that men couldn't
in
vote
what
on women's
context?
abortion?
Yes, I would vote that way.
Okay, right. So that's the same reason that we vote that you don't have abortions.
But okay, well, there you go.
It's just like that. If you would vote that we couldn't tell you that you couldn't,
Well, that's a
then
fair
in a
point.
democracy, then
Then
we could
I'm-
vote in a democracy to tell you you can't. See?
Sure. Well, then I do think that's wrong. And I
Well, okay.
So then
hold on.
voting's
Yeah.
wrong?
no, I think that I should backtrack my statement because I
You should backtrack this whole visit till you hit from the moment you hit the door. That's where you need to backtrack to, and then just turn around.
think that I think that everybody should have bodily autonomy. So if you want to vote for my right to not have control over my body, I do think that's unfair.
Well, okay, hold on.
You have bodily autonomy. You get to decide if you're going to have sex or not. Once you have sex, if the baby results, now there's a baby there. So you have the same bodily autonomy a man has. Because if I had sex with you and a baby grows, I don't have any bodily autonomy to go and take care of that kid. So why do you? Why do you have it if I don't? Why do you get to kill a baby and I don't? Not that I want to, but if we're going to talk about rights and being fair, why would you get that right and take it away from me? That doesn't quite seem fair or equal. Maybe we need to name a bill like that so you can understand it, dummy.
You know, we're
And I
getting into
probably
it.
shouldn't vote for you to.
Not going to allow you to weasel out of this. So you can try to bring up abortion, but that's a different conversation.
argument, yeah.
So you stated, and women aren't constitutionally equal to men.
I don't think we are.
How?
You don't
I
think
don't
so,
understand how,
but that's
yeah.
what I'm asking.
I want to be
That's what I'm
convinced.
trying.
I want to be convinced.
Hold
to
on,
your
just let her
side.
answer. It's okay.
I remain unconvinced.
So you don't think we are. In what ways do you think you are not constitutionally equal?
I mean, I told you that I didn't think we were because the ERA didn't pass.
And they explain to you why that is nonsense. Because the name of the title of a bill doesn't mean any kind of, that doesn't represent your voting rights. That doesn't represent you being treated fairly in society. That just means people didn't fall for the bullshit on that title.
Oh, can you give us an example?
That's the example I gave.
Okay, so
If you don't like that one, then that's
No, I
fine.
mean,
you don't like it, then move
okay,
on.
but
Like
hold
a
on.
real-time example.
I gave you abortion.
Wait, hold
Well,
on.
may I
Hold
ask,
on.
because she explained what the bill was, but you never gave your explanation to what this means. So I keep wanting to know what do you mean this bill? Like, what is it to you? Like, what was denied? The right for trans men to be trans women and all of us to be the same
I think that dude's on our side.
thing? Because that's how she explained it. Is that it's to universal, like all of us, to make trans women women. That's what this bill is? Is that
No,
what it is
I
to
mean, like
you?
the definition of feminism is like, to me, well, not even to me. It's literally the belief.
I want you to pay attention to this because this is not going to be a definition. It's probably going to be some stuff she saw in the back of a box of cereal or something. I don't remember what she said, but I do remember she's stupid. So pay attention.
That women and men should be allowed to have the same rights.
Which we do.
And I feel like the Equal Rights Amendment says that.
So,
but isn't the
what does it
19th just for voting?
But what I'm
How do we have the same rights? I have to register for a draft. You don't. You get to flush away your mistakes, and I have to pay for them for 18 years. How are we the same? How are we equal? Please explain that to me. I'm dying to hear how equal this is.
asking,
Yeah.
like, what does
Well-
it
So
say?
why can't we have that for everything? If the 19th
have
is
it
just
for
for
everything.
voting.
Yeah, we do.
So-
Actually, hang on. This is a great question, and I would like to answer your question.
Okay.
If you can name a single right that you think that this is not applicable to, meaning men have it and women don't, I'm all ears.
Now, she's going to say abortion, and where they've got her at is men can't have abortions either in those states. Like if a woman can't have it, a man can't either. So they've got her already. But I don't think she's smart enough to see that coming.
You say that women can't do abortions, neither can men.
There you go.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Do you mind if I have some time to think about
Sure.
it? Okay.
You have eternity. Not going to help.
So wouldn't men be not as equal by not having a say in abortion as a woman does?
Even a woman can understand that. Thank you.
The man was there to
That was a joke.
make
I mean, it's both.
I
of
think
the-
that's a-
right. I'm just asking.
While
I'm just
she's
asking your opinion.
thinking,
I'm
while
just-
she's
it's
thinking,
not a debate. I'm just asking a
pull
question.
up the scroll up in the sources, the viewer count. All right, guys, there's 10,000 people watching on YouTube. Wow, big.
Damn.
And almost 2,000 over there on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube,
Sora 2 is now on Artlist.
And you're still here? Go to artlist.io.
Jai Vanik donated $200. Ask her how she feels about Violence Against Women Acts. Federal laws in the U.S. that increase penalties for violence against women but not men.
your thoughts?
Are you going to be mad if I make a generalization?
Nope.
Men are more violent than women.
It's not a generalization, that's a data point.
Yeah, that's gotcha.
One which I dispute, by the way.
Like the IPV rates? Yeah, the
I kind of dispute that too. I've had several girls hit me. I've never hit a girlfriend. Every girl I've ever hit was at work, like where I had to for police issues. It wasn't like I was doing it for joy. And I didn't hit them very hard. I just hit them hard enough to keep them contained. And I've never hit a woman like in my personal life as much as I should have. And I've been hit several times by girls. So who is more violent? Like in my personal experience, it's women.
One directional IPV rates, yeah. Well, actually, really quick on that, I know it's kind of getting a little bit off topic. So when it comes to romantic relationships, what about this data point? So if we're looking at homosexual relationships, for example, so you have heterosexual relationships, gay men and lesbian women. They've actually found that, okay, hold on. Okay, we're fine.
You're good.
Sorry, guys, there's a little slip going. So, gay men have the lowest incidence rate of domestic violence. And then next up, in terms of couplings, you have heterosexual relationships. And then the highest incidence rate of domestic violence is actually in lesbian relationships. So, what are your takes on that? Like, how do you reconcile that?
That's
if
in
men are more
relationships.
violent, if men are more
That's
violent,
in relationships. That's not a
but removing
It doesn't count if I hit you, if I fucked you too. Is that the thing? Because most of the time guys hit girls, it's usually because they're fucking them. It's not just random women on the street. So I don't really understand what that means.
men from the picture entirely when there's two women in a relationship together and two men in a relationship together. The rates among gay men having domestic violence in those relationships is the lowest compared to both heterosexual relationships and lesbian relationships, and it's the highest in lesbian relationships even compared to heterosexual
Hear that, fellas? You want to get taken care of and not get beat? Go find you a dude. Yuck.
and gay male relationships.
I would almost argue that like it's unreported among gay males.
Wouldn't it
And
also
that's
be
like an
unreported?
incorrect data.
Yes, gay men hate drama. Of course. They would not want to make a police report or anything about that. Sure.
Data point. Like,
it-
For lesbian women?
I just think it's no, because I think that like women would be more likely to report something like that, and I think that it
Inside
wouldn't
of
be-
your list of fallacies,
Yes.
did you write down the argument from incredulity?
No,
You did
Missed
not
that
write down
one.
the
no,
argument from
Purdue didn't
incredulity.
have that one.
Yeah, it's not really an argument to say, well, I can't demonstrate this, but I just think that X is probably
Sure,
true.
okay, that's fair, but
Yeah.
I also don't think that equating what's happening in a relationship is the same as like what like men being like more violent.
This is Kamala's long lost daughter. She's saying a lot of words and it ain't saying nothing.
Overall,
But this was in context of this domestic violence,
is
thing.
that what like the law is about, the violence against women?
violence against women. Yeah.
So that's a domestic, that's a law.
I believe it's
But,
about
but don't
domestic
you guys like
violence.
stand on the point that men are stronger than women?
Yeah.
So like,
has nothing to do
wouldn't
with
that
violence,
be a
though.
thing?
It wouldn't
Like,
mean that they're more
Isn't
violent.
that don't you want to protect like women
It
against
doesn't
the
make you more
strong men?
violent just because you're stronger.
I would think that isn't.
For
it-
instance, there's going to be women who are stronger than other women, right?
Sure.
Would you then infer that that would mean that women who are stronger than other women would just be more violent because they're stronger?
No, but I think that I think that testosterone makes men more violent.
Okay, but there's going to be higher rates of testosterone in stronger women than less strong women.
Okay.
So, I mean,
so
this
then, yeah, if
inference-
they would have more testosterone, then they would be more violent. Yeah.
You think that testosterone is only going... So your inference is that testosterone equals violence?
I think that it can. Yeah, I think that
So can-
there's
Okay. So can estrogen. Estrogen can cause...
estrogen's a bitch. Yeah, she's not
Nick,
great.
really quick. Okay, guys, really quick before we get back into it, have you had some time to think about what rights?
No.
So what rights do women have that men don't? I'll give you a bit more time to think about it. Nick, can you pull up the view count really quick, guys?
She's not going to come up with anything for the rest of the show, just so you know. No one is. Nothing exists. You can't come up with something that doesn't exist.
There's 10,000 of you, about 10,000 of you watching on YouTube, 1672 watching on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow and a Prime sub if you have one. Twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow and a Prime sub if you have one. It's been 1 minute since we last got a Prime, so I think it might have been like rebugged since a minute ago. So if you have a Prime sub, can you do a little test in the chat? And thank you. Oh, Brian is gross. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Brian is gross. Appreciate it. Thank you. Call me Kyle. Guys, twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow and a Prime sub if you have one. If you're watching on YouTube, open up another tab. Watching on Twitch, just drop us a follow. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And then we do have a super chat here from Matthew Schreck. Oh, can you hide that? Yep. All right, Matthew Schreck. Plain and simple, are we equal or not? Should all people, men, women, trans, etc., be held up to same standards and responsibilities? Thank you, Matthew Schreck. Are we equal or are we not?
There are 3 kinds of methylene blue that you can take, and a lot of people are selling. The first one is Indian curry methylene blue.
Why methylene blue, but not theirs?
I will concede on the fact that I can't give you more evidence, but I don't believe that we are equal right now. So I apologize that I did not come more prepared.
Well, you don't need to articulate every single way in which you believe women are unequal. I would like to hear maybe 1 or 2, though. I don't know if that's too much of an ask.
I don't think that we are, just in like societal ways.
But hold on. I don't know if this is...
Let's break down that last sentence. I don't think we are in societal ways. She stopped even formulating sentences that make sense. I think we are. What does that even mean? What is the subject of that? What? Please diagnose this fucking sentence for me, lady. What are you saying?
Is considered
well, that's the thing is like
shifting the goalposts or Mon Bailey?
So what do you want?
Because your original claim was not societally, it was rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
then
you said women aren't constitutionally equal to men.
Yeah.
And I think that's even different. I think that's a higher threshold.
The 19th Amendment applies to voting.
Let me just finish. I think aren't constitutionally equal to men is actually going to be a higher threshold for you to prove than just rights. But so I'm even willing to go down to just speaking about rights. So what rights do men have that women?
Well, maybe we could talk about like constitutionally then, because like I told you, I don't have the rights. I'm not more prepared, and I'm very sorry about that. Actually, I shouldn't be sorry. I'm just not more prepared.
But it's your claim.
Okay, so I mean that's what I'm saying is like.
Thanks, Toon Army. My first raid.
I don't have that information.
That's a really massive claim to make.
Okay.
That men have more rights.
I did not say that. I said women are not constitutionally equal to men. Okay. I believe that because the ERA is passed. You disagree with that point.
But I've tried to articulate that.
Well, I think that's fair. What about the ERA? What about the ERA?
We're getting raided by Cool Vic. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate you guys.
Make women equal to men.
It passing.
Yeah, but what?
Define it.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Wait, can I ask you a question? If there was nothing in the bill, and the title of the bill was purely Equal Rights Amendment, and there's just nothing in the actual bill.
And women are equal to men in the Constitution, and that's all it said? Yeah, great, pass it. That's what I'm saying.
But you're still not saying what you feel like you're...
Why it didn't pass.
Because it was political and the name does not.
Just to catch you guys up, we're just getting here. This fat bitch can't understand why a bill named the Equal Rights Bill or whatever, the one they're talking about, she can't understand why it won't pass just based off of the name. And they've explained to her about 1 million times that the name has nothing to do with what's actually in the bill. I think about 5 times they've explained this to her, and every time she keeps going back to, we're not equal because this bill didn't pass, and it's named this, and she still can't get past it. She just keeps going back to the name of the bill. It's been frustrating the shit out of me.
Not mean that is what is inside of it. That's what this person was trying to bring up in the super chat about the Violence Against Women Act actually not protecting women. It's just a name. If you're involved in politics, if you follow this for a long time, you know that they pass these bills and they put these bills up solely that so Democrats can look at you, if you're a Republican, and say, Republicans don't believe in equal rights for women. And then people believe it.
Okay.
So don't believe it.
She's not saying, you're the person we're talking about. She is so dumb. She can't even put herself into that analogy that she's the dummy.
If the issue is societal too, what is like just passing a bill going to do? If it's like a societal norm.
And she's already said she didn't read the bill. She has no idea what's in the bill. But just based off of the name, that means women are mistreated because it says equal rights and it's not passed.
Issue.
I think
maybe.
I think it starts at those, like at those base levels.
Yeah, but how does that change your day-to-day
Your view.
life? And
Wait, I actually have a question on this. If the ERA was passed, what tangible changes would occur?
I think, isn't it true that like if the ERA passed, Roe versus Wade would have been protected more? So
What does that have to do with rights between men and women?
Isn't that
Men-
a right to bodily autonomy?
Yeah, men have no reproductive rights, so you can't make this comparison. Men don't have a right to an abortion, or they don't have a right to prevent women from getting an
I
abortion.
don't know. My dad had to sign off on my mom getting her.
Was she about to argue that men can have abortions? Like your dad signing off on an abortion? I don't even know that's true, but even if it is, that has nothing to do with this. He's not going to go spread his legs and let him stick something up his butthole. Like he's not getting an abortion because there's no baby up there. That's their point, you dumb monster.
Tubes tied.
This is
That's
a
a
feminist trope I
right.
hear about. I don't know
It's
if there's
not a
any
trope, it
validity.
actually
I don't know if there's
happens.
actually any validity to doctors requiring a spouse to consent to these things. Perhaps in years past, I have no idea if this is still
It's
a common
crazy,
practice.
too.
It
when
is
men,
more considerably harder to get your tubes tied than for a man to get a
Well,
vasectomy, though.
hold on.
No, my
That's
mom- my
because-
dad had
hold
to
on. That has
sign a
nothing- Hold
paper.
on. Wait, that
bitch was sitting too close to her, and the stupidity is rubbing off. Like you can't sit too close to that stupid, or it'll just start to get in your head somehow. Like what?
has nothing to do with the consent of the spouse. Getting your tubes tied is a far more invasive procedure than a vasectomy. To start there.
They do often ask about spouse. They do often ask children, and they do play that.
I've
into a
heard stories
factor,
from
but-
men all over the country that when they went in to get a vasectomy, that the doctor demanded that they come in and do counseling first with their wife before they made the decision to have the vasectomy.
I don't think that's correct.
Well, right. So this is the thing. I don't
think all of your views are correct. So that's my evidence. What kind of argument is that? I don't think that's true. You didn't even read the amendment you're arguing about, dummy. We don't take anything you say, Rio.
think that
What?
it's correct to say that your dad had to sign off on the tube tying either.
I'm saying that it happened, but it shouldn't have. It should
Yeah,
not
I'm not
be a
sure
thing.
that it did happen. If we're just using
Okay,
infidelity,
well, if you're just
then we're
going to
just
call
gonna
me
use
a liar, then I
infidelity.
can just go around the table and call y'all liars all night.
Okay,
Well,
so
but that's why we don't use an argument from incredulity. If you say to me, I don't think.
What
that-
about an argument
I
from
don't-
experience?
I don't think that happens. If you say to me, I don't think that happens.
What
then
if it
stop
actually
it.
happened to
Complaining.
me?
If it actually happens to you, that's different. But it didn't actually happen to you. It happened to someone else. But for you to say, I just simply don't think that that's true. If that you can assert that, then I just assert it about everything you say. Yeah, but I just don't think that that's true. Yeah, but I just don't think that that's true. All right? That's why you don't make assertions or claims unless you can either logically demonstrate them, empirically demonstrate them, or in some way demonstrate them.
So the evidence. Would you like me to like get the paperwork or
Okay,
something?
That would be evidence.
Okay.
I have to move it off of the
Right.
tube tying thing.
That's what I'm-
But back
right.
to this. So if
As if one anecdotal dad story makes her whole argument for her. Oh, that could be anything. That could just be some regional law, something in that hospital. She might have gone to just a Catholic hospital, and that's their rule. That doesn't mean anything.
the ERA was passed, what would be the sort of tangible results when it came to the equality that women could expect to receive that they don't currently have, that you can't articulate?
I think that I said that Roe versus Wade would have been more protected.
That's not true.
Well, then I like I said,
But this is why I asked
told
if
you
you
I
read
don't
the
know.
bill.
They already told her that a couple of times. Like that same point earlier, they told her that. She doesn't remember anything. She's so frantic right now. She's about to bust. If you can watch her body language in a couple of seconds, when I think maybe we got about 5 more minutes, 6 more minutes before she does, but she gets jittery. So bear with me. She is just impossible here. I can't believe it's taking this long for her to erupt.
Chrissy, do you know if in the ERA there's anything in there that has anything to do with abortion rights?
I think that she's referencing like making abortion legal at a federal level, but Roe,
Yes,
okay,
that's
but Roe
exactly,
versus Wade,
yeah.
that's not what
Okay,
Roe versus
yes,
Wade is.
That's
This
what
is-
it is then. Yes,
Yeah.
abortion would be legal at a federal level. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So aside from abortion, which it's not clear to me if that has really anything to do with a comparative analysis of rights between men and women, can you give me anything else that would tangibly change if the ERA was passed for women?
No.
In the Win with Zen sweepstakes, you can get a chance to win $100,000. But there's more than one way to win with.
Don't try that shit.
Okay. So then, is that a checkmate?
That's it, yeah. There's
Yeah.
nowhere to go with
All
that.
right, Navy Darkstar, thank you for the gift of 10 subs.
They're shaking hands.
Yeah,
Look
I'm
at it.
Still a little confused, I guess. But
This is called an AFF.
you know what?
It's my own coined fallacy. It's called an argument from feelings.
You know what? I can actually think of one
Isn't
way.
it a bleeding heart liberal?
Well, I mean, look, I've debated with a lot of liberals and a lot of progressives. There's a lot of smart liberals. There's a lot of smart progressives who don't make arguments from their feelings.
Okay.
And they're brutal to have drag-out debates with. They're super smart. They're really well-informed. That is not what this was.
Okay.
I can actually think of one right that men have that women don't, although this is geographically specific because in some jurisdictions it actually is
Andrew just insulted her to her face, and she's so dumb she didn't even know that's what that was. I don't think she figured it out.
allowed. But men can go out into public shirtless, and in some areas women can't.
Okay.
Aside from that, and again, it's jurisdiction specific. In some municipalities and cities, women can go shirtless.
Yeah, it's called My House. You can go shirtless in my house, ladies.
I can't really think of really any right that men have that women don't.
Okay.
But no, that would even be a wrong example because that wouldn't be a right. That would just go to the federal government not saying whether or not people can walk around nude or not, leaving it up in the 10th Amendment to the states.
It's gotten so bad at this point that the boys are actually trying to figure out a way to where she can get a little bit of just a little something back. Like, it's just nothing. Just nothing. You can't make anything of this chick's arguments because there aren't any. It's all just, I feel this way and I like the way that title is. That's all her argument is. If it's named that, you should pass it. That's all. Don't even read what's in it.
So the states allow their municipalities to govern themselves. Some municipalities say that women can do this, some don't. Still wouldn't have anything to do with the right.
Well, in some municipalities, women wouldn't have the right.
That's not a right, though. That's just that's ordinance, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, it's left up to the states, but there's no rights which are being actually violated.
But I mean, if it's pushed back to
Ken, if you were here from the beginning, that is all they've done through this whole little clip that I'm highlighting. That is all they've done. They have explained shit to her over and over and over again. Literally like 5 times they had to explain to her that the bill's name doesn't mean anything. It's just a name. They make it arbitrarily. It doesn't mean anything. And she still can't fucking get it. She never even read the bill.
municipalities in the states, and overwhelmingly most municipalities and jurisdictions preclude women from going topless, wouldn't it, I mean, effective?
She's a stewardess too. They trust her with your peanuts. So be careful next time you're flying.
In practice.
Nope, it would be like a stop sign law. It would be like, it would just be a law like this. It would be, you got to wear shoes or no shirt, no service or something like that. It would be an ordinance. That would not be a right.
Well, in any
So
case.
in other words, there's no right defined that men can walk around with their shirt off. There's no right defined that women cannot walk around with their shirt off. There's local ordinances which prevent this. These aren't inalienable rights.
Right, it's not
There's
in
no
the
inalienable
Constitution.
right to walk around nude, right?
Yeah. And in further, just, I mean, are you familiar with the legal term de minimis?
Mm-hmm.
So it's such I would consider it a fairly minor, at least in the scale of what, when people typically have conversations about.
I'm guessing spirit, Ken?
Rights. This one would occur to me to be
Who would
fairly
care
minor.
anyway? You think that if they wanted to pass a constitutional amendment that women could walk around topless, that any fucking men would object? No. Nobody's going to object
Sign
to
me
it.
up.
They're not objecting
I'll
to
advocate
that.
for that shit.
And there's
Okay.
no women out there advocating for that. So it's like, even that would just be a really poor example, ultimately.
We have Brian Rookard. Women are already protected. The 14th Amendment already provides equal protection. Married women's property acts were passed in 1839, and then thereafter, Equal Pay Act passed in 1963. Fair Housing Act prevents discrimination in housing on basis of sex.
So this is like...
Thank
when
you, Brian. Good name.
When you're thinking about immutable characteristics...
Scott Vedti. Is that what you're talking about with free bleeding when they would like have periods on themselves and they would just film themselves with the period blood all showing? Women are gross, man. Women are gross. I didn't know about that peeing one though. Ugh.
Basically, the law at the constitutional level has been completely changed.
What next? Gonna be wiping boogers on each other or something? Yuck.
So that people with immutable characteristics are protected via those immutable characteristics. That would be sex, that's race, all of that. Right?
And gender now, because of Bostock.
Yeah, these are things that are unchanging. So, well, except maybe that one, but actually immutable, right? And you can't change them. The Constitution has compensated for all of those. So you're not allowed to, you can't say you can't vote because you're black, can't say you can't vote because you're white, can't say you can't vote because you're female, can't say you can't vote because you're male, can't tell you can't own a gun because you're black, can't tell you can't own a gun because you're white, can't tell you can't have freedom of speech because of these things. So all of these across the board, it's protected.
Yeah.
2 chats here coming in. We have Giovanni C. Based blonde blue shirt. Bonus points for not butchering your baby. God bless. All right. Thank you, Giovanni. Appreciate it.
Wait.
And then we do have SS Salwoff coming in. Thank you. Thank you, man, for the TTS, or not the TTS, the Streamlabs message. Howdy, longtime listener, first-time donator. Hey, thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Why do all the trouble guests sit in that spot? Question for the panel. If Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? Are you able to scoot into the table just a little bit? Yes.
So, what's the question?
Let me say this really quick. I have obviously bitten off more than I can chew.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
No.
Oh, you're doing great. Don't worry about it. You're a legend. You're a legend. You came in guns blazing. You're doing great.
I tried. No, I really do appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Wait, we got to get through at least all your notes.
Told you I was coming. Look, she's shaking and everything. She's gonna blow.
Hold on. Just stay we'll get through your notes. I will fast track.
Can you at least leave the booze?
Oh yeah, I'm leaving the booze. That's for you guys. No, I really appreciate you having me on.
I feel like that's a reasonable contribution.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Wait, let me at least.
She didn't contribute anything else when they were talking, so at least get the booze.
Fast track.
No, I gotta
go. You got to go
can
because.
Can this be a respectful quit? Like, thank you for everything.
Wait. You can't just
I'm not,
leave.
I'm not crying. I'm tired. That's
You're
why.
tired?
Yeah, I've been up since like 3 a.m.
Okay, but at least look, you provided a lot of notes. Tell you what, I will. Hold on, I will fast track.
This has been really great.
No, listen, but at least hear the offer. You got to at least hear the offer.
Respectfully.
I will
Thank
fast
you so
track.
much.
I will fast track your notes. I will fast. You said it was a rage quit.
It's not.
I think it was a rage
Well,
quit.
thank you so much.
I think it was a rage quit. I think you can't defend your worldview. You can't defend your worldview. I think you're a coward, to be honest. I think it's cowardly for you to quit because you've been absolutely demolished by Andrew.
But leave the booze.
Leave the booze.
You did a great job, Andrew. Thank you.
Aw. Have a nice day.
Thanks.
You're not going to defend all your other
She's not gonna have a nice day.
things
Message me
here.
when you become a conservative.
Snowflake. Imagine.
She left the booze.
Total. I mean, I typically wouldn't revert to.
Oh yeah, the notes would have been cool.
There was like 80 of them. 80 pages of them.
I would have killed to be able to read that girl's notes. Oh my God. I bet they were written in crayon. Like that is just her entire argument. That she came there blazing too. She was like ready to call him out and take him to task. And she had nothing. She was arguing for a bill she never read. Just based off of the name. Like just basically look at it. There you go. Know all about it. She spent 5 seconds reading this bill that she's going to argue for on a podcast in front of the entire world. That's how women act. And when you lose, you just get up, cry, and walk out. That's my issue with women. They can't handle any kind of pushback. If you give them just the slightest bit of pushback. One of my dating horror stories, I was meeting a girl on a date and we started talking and she was saying some feminist talking points. And I was like, that ain't true. That's not true. And I was like, let's look them up. And she started fucking shaking, like she was vibrating. She was so upset. And I'm like, lady, what are you so upset about? Like she was like, she couldn't even talk. That's how bad it was. And it was just over basic shit. It wasn't even like we didn't even started the courting part or anything because we weren't going to get to it because she was gross. But yeah, they just shut down. They can't even. I did that to one of my therapists. I had to get a male therapist because my female therapist got into an argument with me about feminism in the middle of therapy. That's what it is like because they can't. Whenever they can't argue anything back, they just get really mad and like shaky mad, like vibrating. Because I guess like I've never been in a fight. Like men have been in fights. Like I've been punched in the face. Oh, I got hit by a train. I had to have 2 vertebrae removed. I don't shake up easy like that. But women, man, you could just tell them they're wrong about something and watch it happen. Nothing else matters because they can't focus anymore. And they're incapable of admitting that they're in over their head. Like there was a point when I stopped it early in the video and I said she could stop it right here if she just said, I really don't know what I'm talking about here. I needed to do more research and just let it go like that. They would have just bypassed her and gone to somebody else because that's what they're trying to get her to do. And she just won't do it. Women are incapable of admitting when they have nothing to say. Just like they will always want to be in charge and control and tell you how fast to go and tell you, tone police you, tell you how to do things. But they don't like they want to be in the driver's seat, but they don't know where they're going. They just want to tell you how to get to where you're going. And it's become impossible in today's world. Women have made it impossible. I'm an older gentleman and I'm trying to date, and you would think that the older ones would be a little better because they're from my generation. Nope. Nope. Women have lost their minds. And it's really apparent. Like, I don't see how the rest of the world's not seeing this. And so that's what my channel's about. That's what I'm trying to point out is a lot of the feminism stuff, some of the Zionism stuff that gets on my nerves with the country the way it is now, but it's mostly about feminism. That's my bigger issue. I get along perfectly fine with all the Jewish people in America. I just don't like Israel. So I don't have any issue with, Jewish people, nothing like that. Women I got an issue with because they're all crazy, like for the most part, at least the ones I've encountered. So, but that was it for this channel. For this video tonight. I was just jumping on to pass some time and get some practice because I'm really kind of rough at this. My stuff doesn't look as good as it could. So I'm just trying to get some practice before I can start really trying to do this more often. So come check me out anytime you see me live. I'd love to have some followers and some people to talk to in the comments, show you posts. That was a lot of fun, guys. I really appreciate y'all coming, and I wanted to thank Vic. I appreciate the raid, and I love your channel, man. I love that you bring me all my Andrew content to guide me. So thank you, guys. See y'all next time. I'll probably be on here tomorrow, so come check it out. Peace.